Hey, hello everyone. Sirturmund here, bringing you guys my famous TK Raka deck and kind of giving you a deck breakdown of how I like to run this deck and like the things that I like to think of. Um, the deck is pretty straightforward. I think everybody who runs TK Raka before has the same kind of number of cards. Usually the things that are going to change are going to be your Sunbless Biggers, your Bastions, your number of Hushes, maybe sometimes even the number of Pell Cascades and the Shepherds. But anyways, just gonna do a quick breakdown of what each card does and go from there. So obviously, the whole point of the deck is to try to win with Star Spring. So the way that this card works is that every turn, at the end of every turn, is healing your units 1 HP. And in addition to that, once it gets to 22 or more, it can be exactly 22. Once it gets to 22 or more, you just win the game at the end of the turn. So it's very powerful because as long as you're healing you kind of end up getting to that 22 very easy. And there's times that you can get there like even in a single turn or two turns. The rest of the deck kind of just revolves around making that happen, right? So you're playing your units here, like the Crusty Courier, that come in already damaged, so that they're able to get healed up by the Star Spring. Um, I really like Shakedown. Shakedown is an amazing ability in my opinion because you can always use this on Soraka, drag in two units that you wanna attack and get yourself damaged. Uh, and Soraka heals herself even after you use it on her. So very useful card in terms of removing opponents' threats while also damaging your own units. Star Shepherd, I think is a good card because it's a nice like one drop that can block a lot of units. It can get really big really fast, and there's been some games where I just win through attacking with the Star Shepherd. So I would never cut this card completely either. Botstopus is kind of the heart and soul of the deck as well. You're able to play him and then able to heal him with Soraka or any of your healing spells, and he allows you to remove the opponent's threats. Fortune Croaker gives you some draw while also damaging your stuff, so really useful. Guiding Touch as well heals your units or heals your Nexus in some scenarios and allows you to draw one. Pale Cascade, I think is really useful because it gives you a draw and it also gives you an additional attack point, which it can be very useful when you're looking for a way to block fearsome units. One of the biggest weaknesses of this deck is that your units are not really great fearsome blockers, so Pale Cascade ends up kind of doing that for you. I do like to run two Sunbless Beggars as a way to kind of cheaply keep my units alive. So right now in the meta, there's a bunch of pings, like a bunch of Poke Sticks and Biofees and all this and group shots and all these different one damage things or two damage things in some cases that I'd like to be able to keep things that I can use for 2 mana that can keep my units alive. So Sunbless Bigger does that. It also increases the maximum health of your units, which means that when Soraka is leveled up and able to heal your units fully, you're actually healing for more than you will heal otherwise. I think 2 Hush is also very important in the meta. This deck struggles a lot versus Ari Cannon, but one of the ways that you can win is by being able to hush the Ari when they go for their big turn with the Absolver or the Might, etc. So this is very important. It's also very useful versus stuff like Pantheon, and it's also super clutch versus Lee Sin when Lee Sin is going for like his super lethal attack. Um, so yeah, Soraka, obviously, the whole point, you level her up and then you're able to start drawing every turn. So this deck has a lot of draw, and it's very important because sometimes you enjoy your Star Spring early, so you want to be able to draw and draw and draw so that you get it before you actually start dying. Astral Protection is super important as well because it gives you 4 health. It heals you 4 plus gives you an additional 4 health. So it usually puts any of your units that you use over like being able to die from anything. I think usually the only thing that can kill units after this is going to be like Vengeance or Ruination or something like that. Uh, then you have everyone one of Bastion to again kind of deal with those pesky vengeances. But the thing about Bastion is that it's not that great because people expect it now. So they're never gonna vengeance like your tank Kench or your Soraka or your Broadback Protector unless they have like a Bile Feast to back it up with. And then the last two cards, Broadback Protector has become super important in the deck. It's actually really critical that you draw this in any aggro matchup or any like Ari Cannon matchup where your opponent's trying to do a lot of damage to you. Because if you have this in the field with a Soraka or with an Astral Protection or with a Star Spring, they really cannot push enough damage to kind of get through you. And then the last card is TK. And actually, I think Tahm Kench is the worst card in this deck. Like there's a lot of matchups where I feel like Tahm Kench doesn't do a ton. And he is also very expensive, and you're spending 2 mana every turn for his ability. But there are some matchups like versus Darkness, where you want to get rid of Veigar, versus Lee Sin, where you want to eat up the Lee Sin or the Zoe, where Tahm Kench actually is very, very important. So that's why you cannot kind of take him out of the deck, even though I don't think he's that great. But yeah, so that's the deck. I hope you enjoy the gameplay coming up soon, and let me know what you think about this deck. This has been giving me a lot of success for the past year. We recently won a tournament with this deck as well, so where the deck actually went undefeated. So I think it does really well against most control lineups. Actually, it does really well versus scouts as well if you can get the Broadback Protector in the field. So really recommend it against certain things out there. But anyways, have a good one and enjoy the games. So in this match, we're up against a Viego Kindred deck. And this matchup actually ends up being very bad for us because their units get like really big, really fast, and we're also not able to really deal with the Viego once he gets like past 6, 8 HP because TK would not be able to kind of swallow him from there. So I'm willing to keep the Soraka here. So usually you're looking for Star Spring, Soraka, TK depending on the matchup, Broadback Protector depending on the matchup. This is not a matchup where I expect the opponent to attack us a lot, so I don't think we need the Protector. I'm looking for Soraka and ways that I can damage myself. Obviously this ended up not working out too well. The Hush is not bad though. The Hush allows us to kind of deal with the Viego or even the Kindred if it takes like a weird attack. But again, it's kind of like a slow hand here where we don't draw the Star Spring. So we kind of have to slowly try to level up the Soraka. We don't even have a way to really damage our Soraka so that we're able to actually start leveling her up. So we don't really have any damage units on the field to really start taking advantage of this Soraka. So this is a little bit unfortunate. Obviously the TK on the field will help out a lot, and we do have some protection for the TK with the bigger protection and the Pale Cascade. So it might be that we have to win this game through the TK, kind of swallowing him, and then stall for our... Oh, he could also just have Vengeance. We do have a second one, so that kind of... It's not the worst thing in the world. I think I actually prefer that instead of the TK. I think I definitely prefer that over the TK. Of course, he could have another Vengeance, right? With the buff to Vengeance, where it's now 6 mana, there's no reason for this type of decks to not play triple Vengeance anymore. So I think all these type of decks are like literally on triple Vengeance. The problem for him here is that he cannot really do anything because I can really swallow anything that he plays. And we do have enough backup with Sunbless Bigger to kind of help us survive. So here the opponent's going to pass. I mean, we can do some damage. I don't think it matters. Or we can just not attack and leave ourselves, you know, burn the mana that he has. I can do it either way. I don't think damaging his Nexus is really going to do anything. So we can wait for the next acquired taste. Again, he's kind of in a position where he needs to do something. Especially as I start doing this type of things. So we have 2 mana. So you have to always keep in mind how many mana you have. So you have 2 mana, so you have 7. So 2. Usually, as long as you're like an even number of mana, you tend to be good. So like here, this is fine with me now. Because even if he does have something that he can play here, we can always play Acquired Taste into Astral Protection or into both Sunbless Bigger plus Bell Cascade. So again, usually you want to be able to have enough mana to protect this. So right here, we'll do this. And I want to do it now in case that he has a second Viego in his hand. The Viego spell actually ends up being pretty annoying for us. So here we can do 2 ways. We can do Hush, or we can do the Sunbless Bigger. We can do the Astral Protection. Protection gives me 4 health, so we're still going to die to a second twin, unfortunately. If we do the Sunbless Bigger into the Pale, at least we're able to draw and we don't waste our heal. I think the protection is actually better. We can also just Hush him, and it will be the same thing. I think trying to think if there's a better turn for my Hush to really make a difference, or if it's just better to do the Sunbless Bigger into the Pale. And I'm thinking it's actually better to do the Sunbless Bigger. Oh, actually, so this is a mistake. It needed to be the Hush because now we're also going to be vulnerable to a Battle Feast. And he might actually have the Battle Feast. So I made a slight misplay there. We needed to put ourselves at 10 HP. Because now we lose to a Battle Feast. They ended up not getting punished, fortunately. But that should have been a bad. That's a bad play. It should have been the Hush, or it should have been the Astral Protection almost every time. We're gonna go ahead and heal the TK. Uh, we can we can actually just swallow that. That puts us at 12, so he shouldn't have a way to protect against this, because Twin only takes into 10. So now our TK is about to level up. Now if he has Vengeance, so that part of the reason that I wanted to keep the Hush in my hand. Okay, I mean that's fine too. If he has the Vengeance, we always have the Hush as a backup to be able to protect from the unit actually, getting released. So that's something that you have to always be careful of, that he could release his Viego right here. But that's why I really like the Hush, because you can silence your own TK. And what happens is that if you silence your own Tahm Kench, then you end up not, like, the unit ends up not being released, pretty much, right? I'm okay taking this. I mean, we could have waited. It's possible that he has a Kindred or a Viego, but I don't think I need to. So see, we're forcing a lot of resources from us just doing this right here. So I'm 100% okay doing that. And we have the mana to play this, so might as well just go ahead and do it right now. Now what he's gonna try to do, obviously, is try to get value out of this, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Shakedown. We're gonna grab both of these, and we're actually gonna try to kill it just naturally. Soraka levels up, so even if he swaps with the Soraka should still survive. And just make sure, let's keep our TK alive, just to, I mean, full health, just in case that he has any fancy stuff. We finally get the Star Spring, so now we should actually be able to start putting in some pressure on him. They do run, I don't know if they run Homecoming though. I don't think this list run Homecoming, but I guess that is a possibility. Yeah, so right here we'll do the Star Spring, and then we'll try to eat that Hydra. And he's kind of been showing us that he doesn't really have the tools to deal with that. So this is going to level up here soon. Again, if he tries to kill the TK, we can always Hush to be able to prevent the Hydra Bind and the Viego from coming out. So that's why I'm not too scared of this guy dying. Unfortunately, I don't think we're in a good position where we can try to eat that Hydra Bind. Unless we get something here that could allow us to kind of bring our TK to a better spot. Oh, I'm taking. I could also just take that damage, by the way, because I'm gonna heal up with the Broadback Protector. I'm thinking if it's better for me to Pale Cascade and be able to kind of block, but I don't think there's anything here that would allow me to do that. So I think we can just really take that. We can also do this. We can also eat up the actual Encroaching Mist, which puts the TK at 1 HP. And then next turn in an open attack, we actually heal up the TK to full health because of Soraka, which gives us a bunch of heals from here. And we have another Shakedown as well. So I'm okay doing the Broadback Protector. No, we don't need to. We have enough damage heals. So now here, I'm gonna do the Shakedown again, just so I can get a little bit more damage on this girl. I'm gonna grab it here. I'm gonna grab it here, right? I guess we can also just grab it on this guy, but I think we don't need to attack with everything. We can just do it like this. That's a consideration that I should have done it on this guy, by the way. But see, that alone gave me 10 heal. That's why I wanted to get the TK to like 1 HP. Because now this is about to win. Literally, by us just healing this. Actually, if he doesn't do anything, if his Soraka lives and this guy lives, the Star Spring is already going to heal too. So I don't think. I mean, we're gonna save her. So I want to save her just in case he has another way to deal with stuff. So we're gonna save her and leave her at 1. So now he has to deal with. So this is the thing with Starscream. Yeah? You gotta keep in track how far away you are from it. So right here we're 2 away, which means that if we don't do anything, it's gonna heal us for 3 and get us to the 22, and you just win. So you don't need to do anything. And there you go. That's the thing about the Starscream. It triggers at the end of the turn. So if your opponent doesn't do anything when you're about to reach that 22 set point, then you just kind of win right away. So you kind of have to be mindful of that. And your opponent needs to be mindful of that as well. Okay, so now we're going to go against... So this looks to be the Watcher, so TLC, which I think we should be very favored against, right? So they have a lot of AoE cards that end up being pretty bad for him. I think what we need to do is actually harm Mulligan for Starscream because we need to put him on a timer before he can get, the Watcher trigger. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. So what do we do now as we wait for the Starscream? Well, we would have preferred to at least see Soraka, but we also didn't see Soraka at all. So, oh, okay, that's the Starscream. So now he's in a position where he's going to be in a timer, and all his AoE will not be able to do anything. We don't have a lot of heals though, right? So our hand is still a little bit awkward. Yeah, might as well get it 2 damage in. It's not a big deal. I guess it gives him an excuse to use the thing. So it's better to use the heal here first, start leveling up the Courier, and he also puts him out of range of Avalanche instead of trying to do the Fortune Croaker, and then that's there, and you don't have a way to to play anything. Okay, so Soraka being on the field is amazing. If he spends, yeah, okay, so if he spends his mana, we can go ahead and do the Croaker because he's gonna be down to just 3 mana. He shouldn't be able to deal with this. We don't want to do the bot suppose because he still has enough mana to do Bio Feast, right? So we do the Croaker, or the Croaker allows that it advances the level up for Soraka, and then Soraka actually levels up on the net seal on the Courier. So we're in a very good spot because again he's on a timer now where he needs to deal with the Starscream, and I don't think he runs anything that can deal with the Starscream. So here, I'm trying to debate which way I wanna what I wanna do. Because playing the Soraka is not bad. Puts me at 2 mana. I have a hand where like I don't have a lot of stuff to do. Playing the Botstopus, we don't have a way to defend him. So maybe we just take the damage here. Attacking with Soraka doesn't matter because this is always gonna, this is gonna get healed up by 1 anyways. Is this a Yeti deck instead? Am I getting baited by opponent? Is this not actually... Oh wow, so this is not actually TLC, this is Yetis. So this is not a bad blocker for the Yetis. Okay, I think he probably has the Abominable Yeti in his hand. I think I'm in trouble, chat. If he has the Yeti that gets summoned here, that's gonna be a problem. There we go. Abominable Guardian. Okay, he only had 1 at least, so that's not horrible. The funny thing is that I don't mind this. So my problem here is that I don't want to block with Soraka because I don't have a way to heal her or protect her. So maybe we just take this damage and just play the Broadback Protector, and we have 2 Broadback Protectors, so we can start kind of healing that way. So he has 5 mana, which means that he could have Avalanche, or I guess he has to be Avalanche because the Ravine actually doesn't do it. So that's why I didn't. He also had enough mana to do Fury of the North with the. Oh wow, he got the second one. That's awesome. Oh, this is a great draw because now I can do this. I can drag this too. And I'm very hesitant on putting this guys in the field. Like, I'm very hesitant to put this guys on the field just because I know he could have the Bio Feast. So we can kill the Yeti Yearling, which is fine. Put some damage on Soraka. This only goes down to 1 damage, so it gets healed up. We do have the second Star Spring, so I probably could have done more. And we can heal it all back up with the second Protector to put us back at around 19. We do have a blocker here with the Courier, but that's about all that we have. I guess we had the Hush if it does like a 3 sister into Fury of the North, but it's not enough to kill us here. That's why we had dragged these 2 guys instead of dragging one of the 5-cost ones. I would like to play the Broadback Protector, but I'm gonna tread in the second Star Spring first and see what he does, because he puts the Soraka back above 5 health. Now we have a second Soraka, so next turn now I don't mind blocking with Soraka. So we have 3 blockers that we can use. Ooh, okay, so that gives me the go-ahead to do the second Protector. Because now he's at 4 mana, right? So even if he does like Avalanche, nothing dies, and we have the 2 Star Spring to heal it up. So we're in a position where like all the chip damage he does actually helps us out. And Avalanche actually gets rid of one of his attackers as well. Although I guess he wouldn't actually want to attack with that because he just gives us a good blocker. The Bossopus are great in most matchups, but in this matchup where I'm not even killing his stuff, I guess it's not that bad. I'm just hoping that he has a lot of like AoE spells right now that he cannot use just because, you know, we have all this stuff on the field. Oh, he got the third Abominable Guard. Oh man. Okay, so we can block here, block there. We take 18. I think we actually need to block everything.
Go no further.
We can now go down to 1. I think that would be a mistake. Maybe we sacrifice one of these guys. We can sacrifice one of these guys. I want to leave this guy alive because we can always just drag him next turn for some free damage. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to heal. We're gonna go down to 6. So we're out of the atrocity range in case that for some reason they run atrocity. He's probably gonna try to kill the Soraka. We have a second Soraka on the field. If he doesn't kill her, then we should be able to get there next turn. Shoot. I think we're just gonna pass. There's a consideration I could have done the final wish, but I don't know what the opponent is playing. So he could have like vengeance. He could have a bunch of stuff that makes me hesitant to do the final wish, and then have like him respond to like a battle feast into the Soraka, right? So I want to be able to keep this Soraka in my hand because I don't think our Soraka is very long for the world, unfortunately. uh, the good thing here is that we're healing for 4, so that puts us at 16, and then on the open attack we just win. So this should be game, right? So how does he come back from this? Because here we just open attack, we drag this guy, and we just get to the 22, 20. Yeah, we get to 24, and this is actually a 15 as well. So yeah, that's usually what ends up happening against like control decks like that. You end up just dropping Star Spring down, and they get on a timer and can't really do anything about it. Okay, so in this matchup we're gonna go TK Raka versus Darkness. So it tends to be a pretty good matchup for us because they don't really have a great way to deal with Darkness. But what they do have is a lot of ways to kill our units. Because now they're running like a lot of vengeances, and we also didn't run Star Spring early. So we need to put him on a time. And we also didn't run the TK. So you either need a Star Spring early or you need a Tahm Kench. Because if you cannot remove Veigar from the field, their darkness gets so ridiculously big really fast, that is a problem. And unfortunately for us, we also did not get a blocker for the Catalyzer. Okay, he didn't get the Catalyzer, so at least we got a little bit of reprieve there. But this is not looking great for us because we don't have the Star Spring early. Without the Star Spring, they can like start setting up their darknesses to the point that you cannot like really do much about it. That play does tells me that he doesn't have a lot of great things in his hand. But all he needs is Vega. If he gets Vega right here, we're kind of in trouble. That's literally all he needs. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the Star Shepherd. I'm gonna see if I can try to kill the Vega with Shakedown. It's a little bit mana inefficient. Hmm. I can do it either way, it doesn't matter. I can do it either way. I'm trying to see if there's a punish to me doing it on this girl. I think there is. I don't want to be vulnerable to the darkness. So I think we need to just kill the Vega, unfortunately, which is a lot to commit for the little guy. Because I don't see how we win otherwise. Ah, that's annoying. That's also very annoying. Because now he can just get the darkness can hit, like he can hit the Soraka. We can just kill it, which I guess is also an option. But then I lose my Courier. Like we can just do this just to make sure that he doesn't get too attacked from that, and I think it has to be the way that we do it. He also makes his missed call a lot worse, right? Because now he's losing both units, so he will need to reach on the 50-50. We do get the Star Shepherd to stay alive, which is I guess not the worst thing in the world. We have the Bastion to be able to protect against like a stun, like if he has the second Veigar spell. If he has the second Veigar in his hand, we can protect against the stun. Hmm. Okay, he doesn't have it. But his darkness is at 4 now. So that's a little bit scary. I like doing this here. It levels up the Soraka and also starts putting some pressure where actually the Star Shepherd becomes a big threat that he has to deal with. So now the Star Shepherd cannot just easily die, and she's continuously growing. If he has a second Veigar, then I'm very sad there. But we will have a Botstopus. Okay, there it is. I think we need to play it. We need to play the Botstopus and try to kill that second Veigar. So he did have the stun, but he played around the Bastion, which is smart. I mean, I will do the same thing. If he plays that Darkness, do we commit the second protection? The crazy thing as well is that he's going to get hit by a lob with the Star Shepherd. Alright. I mean, I'll take that. Oh, it's so tempting to do the Star Spring first. I think it has to be the Star Spring first. We need to put him on a timer. Putting the Star Spring first means that I can heal whatever. So he starts advancing the Star Spring first. All he can do, I mean, if he does the Darkness, I'm okay with the Darkness. And we have enough ways. This also kind of triggers a Pill Cascade. So now we actually, have the Pill Cascade as well to draw. Because if we didn't commit the Star Spring first, I would have needed to commit a different spell before we could do the Pill Cascade with the draw. His Darkness is still at 5 though. And we need to kill this Veigar right now. It's possible he has the Mist Call though. Maybe he didn't use it. It's possible he didn't do the Mist Call last turn when we killed the Veigar because again it was a 50-50. But here this threatens the Veigar a little bit. He's also down to 9 HP, which is not a big deal for this deck. But I guess he does need to be careful of that. He could have stress defense, I guess. Wow, he had the stun. I'm willing to commit this. Forcing to have a Battle Feast or a Pokey Stick or anything. Alright. Which he probably does. Okay, the only problem here now is that we do lose a Star Shepherd. I think we actually need to summon the Croger now because of that. Instead of like if he targets this, yeah. Is it actually better to heal her? No, it's the same thing. Because we can just do the Croaker. And now we still get the draw, right? He had 3 beggars in his hand. And we still haven't seen TK. That's unfortunate. So we're at 4 out of 22. We still need to push 18 before the Vega levels up and just kills us through there. Through the darkness. We need to keep the Astral Protection as a way to defend against this big darkness that's going to be coming up soon again. We can target. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you, little guy.
If we pass, he just passes right back, right? So I'm okay doing this. Because he's going to have to commit
Good to see you too, Vin.
the darkness on one of these units. The darkness is still costing him 3 mana. So he's going to have to commit the darkness on one of these units. The problem for us is that Vega does level up. And being him level up with Senna. So we might actually need to open hush the Senna. Yeah, we need to commit the protection on this guy. So we need to commit the protection on this guy, and we actually get a lot of heal out of it. The other problem here is that because the Vega levels up, now we cannot kill him. Now we cannot freaking kill him with the Botstopus, unfortunately. This is getting very dicey, guys. Maybe we just go after the Senna at this point. Yeah, maybe we can just go after the Senna at this point. Vega's gonna be a 7. We do have the Protector to allow us to survive. And he can kill this. He can kill the Botstopus with the darkness, but that means that the darkness is not going to phase. I think we need to keep the hush to be able to darkness the Vega when we feel that we're gonna be threatened by a Vega spell. The one thing that's very risky here, wow. So the one problem that's a big deal here is if he has the It's Tally. But the good thing is that because his darkness is still 3, he cannot do like darkness now and then it's Tally to be able to actually target the face twice. Okay. We're gonna commit the second Botstopus because I think at this point we're like in a, we either get the Star Spring or we don't. So him attacking the face doesn't do anything because he means that the Broadback Protector just seals it up. So maybe that's what he's thinking right now. Maybe he's thinking he should. The funny thing is that he can actually kill our Soraka because we don't have a way to protect her. Ooh, he went face. Don't think I agree with that. Again, we can always just heal with Guiding Touch. He probably has the It's Tally, is what I'm thinking. So he's probably going to try to do the combo where he goes face. So he's going to try to go face here, play the It's Tally, and go face again. Yep, there you go. So we can wait it out. Because what we can do... Because we can wait for him to play the It's Tally first. Yeah, there it is. We can hush the Veigar, so now he can only target. Now he cannot target the face twice. He can only target it once, right? And if he targets one of our units, we might be able to save it because we drew the Veigar. Although we are gonna have to commit a Guiding Touch on the face as well. The problem that we're gonna have is that we need a second hush to be able to stop the Veigar, and we need to hope that he doesn't have a second It's Tally, because otherwise we die. Yeah. Because this doesn't get us to 8. So we're actually going to be at like 1 HP. So he's thinking which one to target. That's the wrong one to target. can we kill that Veigar? We can kill the Veigar now that we do the shakedown. So we can kill the Veigar, or at least try to. So that's what we have to. We're gonna because we don't have the Hush. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do Star Shepherd into trying to kill the Veigar, and just hope he doesn't have enough mana to do a second one. A second it's tally plus the spell. Ay, ay, ay. It's actually. If he has any one more, it doesn't matter, right? Let's just be mana efficient, because whatever he has, it doesn't matter. Um, we need 4, 6. This is 1, this is 2, this is gonna be 3. This is 2, that puts us at 18. There's 2 more. We don't have enough just yet. Maybe we did it on this guy instead, because this guy has an additional 5 health. So technically we might be able to get. No, we don't. We don't have enough mana to get there, because we need to use both the protection, um, plus whatever else. So let's just hope that we can get there another way. Yeah, we're 2 off. I think if we did the Astral Protection, if we knew we were gonna do the Astral Protection, we had a chance. Unfortunately for us now, we need to be able to kill the Veigar before we do anything else. And I don't think we can get there. You know? We need to hope that he doesn't have another It's Tally Sentinel. Or that he doesn't have a way to save this Veigar, because we ended up not getting the Hush. So if he has another It's Tally Sentinel, or he ends up saving the Veigar, then we just lose. That's rough. Because the Hush doesn't save us. The Hush doesn't work once the It's Tally is down in the field. Oh man, he must have stress. He's looking for the stress defense. If he's doing this, he's desperate. He's looking for a way to save his Veigar. Oh, come on. Come on. Please tell me you don't have it. What did you get? He thought about it that much, so maybe he doesn't have it. Oh, really? Group shot doesn't save it, right? Because we have... Oh, yes, let's go. Yeah, group shot is not enough. And now he tapped out of being able to do the tally, so he needs to have a Veigar, another Veigar, or nothing else. And we already win, so we don't care about this. We also have more. It needs to be Vengeance or like Minimorph or something. Pokey. Bile Fees. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can actually just commit this. And the Veigar still dies. So we win, right? There we go. Let's go. Now, we got very lucky that he ended up didn't having the Minimorph or didn't have a second It's Tally in his hand. So, but usually that's how those games like a Darkness go. It's like you have to get rid of the Veigar fast. Obviously, we didn't have a TK there, so that didn't end up happening. But we ended up getting lucky by getting both of the shakedowns, and it's one of the reasons why I love shakedowns so much. So, but yeah, hope you enjoy. So, what do you all think of those games? I think some of them were pretty crazy, especially the last one against Darkness. It came literally right down to the wire. So, hope you enjoyed the deck breakdown and some of the gameplay with TK Raka. You can find some more of the TK Raka gameplay on my previous video, where I go through through my tournament run, where I did win a tournament using TK Raka. I actually went undefeated in that tournament. But yeah, I mean this is a deck that I love, very dear to me, and play it a lot. So If you're interested in seeing more gameplay from me, please just give me a follow. Subscribe here on YouTube. Give me a follow on Twitch at Twitch Sirturmund. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can find my social medias down there. So, anyways, I try to keep posting videos at least once every day or two. So just keep on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.